Oh, the Lord is good to me, and so I thank the Lord for giving me the things I need. So some of you may recognize that saying, and I know it as the opening phrase of a little song called the Johnny Appleseed song. Now, we've been singing that with some of the wee ones in our Sunday school opening here recently, and I thought it was just kind of an appropriate phrase for this time of year. And the reason I'm offering up that phrase is because Pastor and the Stewardship Committee asked me to give you a short talk about something that God has provided for me and our family. So I find that this is kind of difficult, as I, like you, probably don't like to feel real comfortable about sharing, personal messages to a group, especially this large, sometimes privately, but nothing for this big. And it's equally hard for me to find and to block out all the noise and the whirlwind of life to take account of all the blessings that we've enjoyed. Crying is optional. No. So when I had the time the last few weeks to reflect on all the blessings that I've had and all the good, really things that are good for me and Tammy, it was hard. It was really hard, but it was also good to really think back to where Tammy and I have been and where we are now. So now, after reflection, if I were to share the areas and all the things that we've been blessed with in our life, and where God has lifted us up when we were down and carried us when we were hurt, crying is optional, and showered us with love and happiness, I would need a lot more than the 4 minutes the pastor has allocated for me here, I can assure you. But now when I've given a similar temple talk like this in the past, Tammy's always been the strong one of our family in faith matters, and her trust in God to provide what we needed, and more importantly, when we needed it. And on the other hand, I'm the one that carries the anxiety, and I'm the one that is the consummate worrywart. But we, like many, started with barely 2 nickels to rub together, and just enough, not much in abundance. And then the kids came, and then the mortgages came, and then the need for larger vehicles came to transport all of our necessary stuff, on and on and on. I'm sure that many of you are in the same boat, either now or have been. And it was overwhelming many times, and we weren't sure how we could get out and how we could get ahead of things. But, oh, the Lord is good to me, and so I thank the Lord for giving me the things that I need. So Tammy didn't work until the kids were all in high school, and yet, for some reason, new opportunities and jobs kept coming along to me, and I don't know why. People seeking me out for positions. And it seemed that opportunities literally just came out of the blue, and always at the right time. And I'm still amazed this day that a person with only a high school degree, a little bit of college thrown in there, could be so fortunate. I reflect on this as a reason that by the grace of God that's provided, and I have no way to explain it. And through all this, I've been fortunate enough to be in the same position with a company as an executive of a company for the last 20 years. I don't know how that happens. Now, I mention this with a large degree of humility and humbleness and a good dose of embarrassment. But I'm telling the story because I thought that many of you may have been in the same position at some time in your lives. Not certainly the same as mine, I'm sure. But when you take it to the most common denominator, hasn't God always provided for us? No matter what the hardships of finances, the relationships that have been broken, haven't we always come out on the other side okay? Sometimes with a nick or a bruise or a little tarnish on the chrome of life, but usually always the better for it. So in a few years, Tammy and I are hopefully going to be fully retired from working for the both of us. And there's another level of anxiety, right? Do we have enough saved? Will the market stay strong enough? Will there be another downturn? Will my employer still think I'm providing value? Or will I be able to endure the corporate life for another few years? What about our health? How will all this play into the equation of life, right? And on and on and on. The hamster wheel of my anxiety just keeps going and going and spinning away in this feeble little brain of mine. But I always must say to myself, Neil, you have to stop. It will always work out. And, oh, the Lord is good to me, and so I thank the Lord for giving me the things I need. Never too much, never to go without, but usually just enough and what is needed. And I'm sure if you look back on yourselves, you will always know that God provides. So through the blessings presented to Tammy and I, we've always been ones that we always step up during this time of year when the proverbial pledge cards come out. And sometimes it's a small percentage, sometimes it's only a few dollars, sometimes it's a one-time monetary gift, or sometimes it's nothing at all. Maybe it's just getting involved in something else again, or creating something new. But the reason we do this is due to my personal story, because I give back what has been given to me. Crying's optional. But I do give thanks to God, and I do give thanks to this church and these blessings as God has always provided to me, and I must always remember to hold that fact and have faith in God that the benevolence given to me and my family. So repeat after me, everybody. Oh, the Lord is good to me, and so I thank the Lord for giving me the things I need. The sun and the rain and the apple seed, the Lord is good to me.